Old Stackyard Lane. If you think you've seen this sign before, you have. That's because you may have watched my Pilham episode and seen me stood at this corner to finish that episode off. Hello, my name is Andy and I am the village idiot. I'm on with a car and a GoPro and an unhealthy amount of time on my hands. And we begin where we left off in Pilham. I've come to the village of Aisby, which isn't a civil parish in its own right. It falls within a much larger area that includes one big village and a handful of little other settlements around it. Welcome to the West Lindsey parish of Corringham. Corringham civil parish shares boundaries with 13 others in West Lindsey, including the town of Gainsborough. We begin in Aisby, situated just over 1 mile north from the A631 road and 4 miles northeast from Gainsborough. Aisby is listed in the 1086 Domesday Book as Aisby. Back then it comprised of just 8 households with 1 smallholder and 7 freemen. In 1066, Earl Edwin was lord of the manor. By 1086 this had been transferred to King William, who also became tenant-in-chief. Edwin was the elder brother of Morcar, Earl of Northumbria. He succeeded to his father's title and responsibilities in 1062. He appears as Edwin in the Domesday Book. Aisby is not to be confused with another Aisby in Lincolnshire, found in South Kesteven. Corringham is connected to Aisby via both footpaths and a road, where the old hall can be found. So with this footpath here, you can actually walk into the main village, into Corringham, but we're not going to do that because it's quite a distance away from Aisby. In fact, it might look like it is on the horizon, not that far, but trust me, it is. So I'm going to drive down using the car, and we'll park on Millmere Road, starting at the top of Corringham and working our way towards the south, towards where the pub and the A631 are located. Here we go then. Now we come to Corringham itself, a larger village. It comprises the 2 contiguous villages of Great Corringham and Little Corringham, and at the 2011 census the parish recorded a population of 523. Covering an area of just over 25 square kilometres, it has a population density of 18.21. 98.5% of the population are white British citizens. The average house here has a current value of £232,000. The Anglican parish church lies in Great Corringham and is dedicated to St Lawrence, and it once belonged to the Templars. It underwent extensive repairs in 1849 and was completely restored between 1882 and 1884. The church can seat 350 people, and the Anglican parish registers exist from 1643. It also has a 1915 clock in memory of Colonel Henry John Robinson and daughter Matilda Violet, who lived at the Old Hall. So the main road from north to south through Corringham is Middle Street, and we are looking at it right there. We're going to be coming back up that later, and in a short while, hopefully, I'm going to be taking a few steps along it to the south first, because I've spotted a footpath up here. I'm not sure where it goes, but I think it comes out halfway down Middle Street, which would be good because it would mean I don't have to go over the same piece of ground twice effectively. So hopefully I'm right about this footpath. Let's see if we can find it. Corringham Parish also includes the hamlets of Somerby, Dunstall and Yawthorpe. Yawthorpe is the largest of these and it lies due east of the village. As for Somerby, excavations in 1957 showed it was once larger, revealing 15th century streets and house foundations, with finds ranging from the 12th to the 16th centuries. This footpath gives us a good look to the east of the village around the back of the school towards Yawthorpe, although it's too far away to see from Corringham. It leads to a large field and a small picnic area with a pond that we'll be looking at a little more closely later on in the walk. So yeah, I was spot on. It's a patch of grass, a field that it comes to. Doesn't look like it's private or anything like that. No signs to tell me if it is, which is good. And what we've effectively done is we've come around the back of the school, and that's one of the last things we'll see on this main walk around. Right, let's head south for a few moments, because we need to take a right in a moment off Middle Street, because Middle Street will be the last thing we see properly in this walk. Goin Knight, the first principal librarian of the British Museum, was born here in Corringham. I had two sources for this, but they gave conflicting dates, one saying he was born in 1713 and one saying 1856. George Ashworth was a silversmith who lived here sometime around 1798 to 1807. The firm of George Ashworth, Ellis & Co. existed on Angel Street in Sheffield. Now we're on Poplar Lane, and there's a few signs around for the local council to take note of. You can't strim these. The area we're in now is Little Corringham, linked to Great Corringham via Middle Street. A national school was built in Corringham in 1868 and enlarged in 1875 to hold up to 130 children. Now we're on to the A631, the major road that Corringham lies upon, that links Gainsborough with the A15 at Canby Corner. Here's High Street Garage, a former WCF garage. It was previously branded as Bayford Thrust and sold genuine leaded 4-star petrol under the Bayford Thrust brand. Not far from the High Street is Pilham Lane. Close to their junction is the source of the River Till. Now, of course, this road is a road we've seen many times before on the channel. It's the A631, and we've seen it in places like Tickhill and in Bramley and Wickersley in Rotherham, and of course in Hemswell as well. And if you carry on through Corringham that way, you will eventually reach Market Raisin on the A631, and of course we will be covering that eventually. Our next stop here in Corringham is this, the Becketts. Originally an old farmhouse, the main building dates back to the 1800s. It's used as a pub, restaurant and also as a hotel, with a bedroom wing purpose-built on the site of the old barns at the back. Founded in 1894, opposite Middle Street is Peacock and Biddington. They are one of the premier agricultural machinery dealers in Lincolnshire and Yorkshire. Now to head up Middle Street, which will link us back to Millmere Road, where we began. Here's Corringham Village Hall, the first major landmark to have a look at on Middle Street. tick it off, here are the parish notice boards, 2 side by side on the wall of the village hall. We continue north. Middle Street is very varied. There are a lot of different property styles along here. The Primitive Methodists had 3 chapels in the village. This is the third of the 3, dating from 1909 or 1910. On the front of the building it says 1908. It was sold in 1973 and was converted into a house. As for the other 2 chapels, the first dated from 1823 and that was followed by a second in 1858. Now, over the road from where we're standing is a property that looks like a house, but in fact, it's Corringham Surgery. A short way further is the pond that we mentioned earlier. This has a small seating area and a few picnic tables. Despite trying to find a name for this, I couldn't find anything to tell me what it's called or how it came to exist. That's one for you Corringham locals. Right, okay, that brings us to the top of Middle Street and to Corringham Primary School. Now at this point I need to mention something because I have a friend who works at Corringham Primary School. We went to school together, we were in the same year. If any Corringham school children are watching this video, say hello to Mrs. Beat for me if you see it before she does. And that's the end of the main walk around here in Corringham. And there's one more thing I want to show you, but it's a little bit of a drive away. So we'll go to that in a moment. But before that, it's today's picture bit, and that's coming at you right now. Corringham C.A.V. Primary School consists of an original old building with extensions built in 1992 and 2000, which include a conservatory, a library, and 4 classrooms. Much of the medieval village of Somerby was the site of an ancient deer park, which belonged to Somerby Park Mansion, described in White's 1872 directory as a commodious ancient mansion in the Elizabethan style. Somerby Park was the seat of Sir Thomas Becket, who the pub is named after. It's also the ancestral home of the Fairfax family. Beckett would pay for the 1849 church restoration, costing £1,000, and he also built the village school in 1857. This tablet was erected by the tenants of his Corringham and Springthorpe estates as a token of the high esteem in which he was held by them as a landlord. The Old Hall is situated between Aisby and Corringham, a Grade II listed building originating from the 14th century with 17th, 19th and 20th century additions. Okay, to finish off Corringham, I've come out onto the A631 and behind me you'll see a brick structure. That's an old windmill. There are actually 2 of these in Corringham. There's another one at the very far end, the Aisby end of Millmere Road. I can't get any closer to this than where I am right now because that field between me and the mill is private land and I would be trespassing if I attempted to get any closer. But there you go, there is a windmill on the road towards Hemswell and of course towards Market Raisin along the A631. And that seems a very nice way to end this episode in West Lindsey. That's the parish of Corringham, and I'll see you next week for another one out here in West Lindsey, which I'm about to go to right now. But for now, this has been the parish of Corringham, and I've been Andy, also known as the Village Idiot, and I am out.